This video is going to talk about factors and prime numbers. Factors are whole numbers that are multiplied together to produce another number. For example, if I have the number 12, there are several things I could multiply to make 12. I could multiply 1 times 12, 2 times 6, or 3 times 4. All of these numbers that can be multiplied to make 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12, are called the factors of 12. You might notice that factors are also numbers that can divide evenly into 12. So you could also call those numbers the divisors of 12. So the factors of 12 and the divisors of 12 are equal to each other. They're the same numbers. Just when we talk about factoring, we're thinking about things being multiplied. So I could find factors like that for many different numbers, but there's some numbers that are special. So let's look at the number 7. When I look at 7, I could write that as 1 times 7, but there's no other whole number combination that multiplies to make 7. The same thing happens if I have a number like 19. I can write that as 1 times 19, but there's no other combinations that multiply to make 19. These numbers are called prime numbers. Prime numbers, by definition, are numbers that have only two factors, 1 and themselves. So when we look at ways to make that number through multiplication, the only way we'll get is 1 times that number itself. Those are called prime numbers. So when we're looking at prime numbers, we can make a list of prime numbers, at least start a list, because they'll go on indefinitely. So we start with the number 2. 2 is by definition the smallest prime, and it's the only even prime. And that makes sense because if you had another even number, such as 8, you know it would have 1 and 8 as factors, but it will also have 2 times something, because even numbers are divisible by 2. So the next largest prime is 3, and then I only have to check odds from then on. 5 is prime, 7 is prime, 9 is not prime, and that's because I could write 9 as 1 times 9 or 3 times 3. It has more factors than just 1 and 9. So I'll cross that one off my list. 11 is prime, 13. 15 is not prime. Again, I can write that in multiple ways, 1 times 15 or 3 times 5. 17 is prime, and 19 is prime. And that's all the farther we're going to go right now. Most of the things we'll be doing, we can just use this set of primes for.